Your brain starts listing emails, chores, expectations. It's loud before you're even out of bed. It's the little list that grows into a mountain. It isn't just a thought. It lives in your shoulders, your jaw, the hollow behind your eyes. Your chest tightens, your shoulders round in. The world looks near and still, as if you could push it and it wouldn't move. Maybe yesterday left crumbs. Maybe last week did. Maybe nothing big. Just small unfinished things that stack into a thing that feels big. You know this pattern. You've run this loop before. When you let it sit, the day grabs you. Decisions multiply. Your energy leaks into small, useless tasks. Your attention becomes a sieve. Right now, you're on the edge of two stories. One where the day takes you, and one where you take the day. If you keep going the way you always go, the day will be loud. But there's a moment here, right now, where a tiny tilt can change everything. I won't flood you with rules. I'll give you one tiny practice, 15 minutes, that shifts the story, not magic. A small, repeatable sequence that takes the day out of your throat and puts it back on the path you choose. Tomorrow morning, after that first breath, try this. 3 deep breaths. Move your body for 2 minutes. Write one sentence that matters. Then do a tiny version of it for 3 minutes. 15 minutes total. That's it. You just made a different promise to yourself. That's the work. There was a week where I kept waking up already defeated. Alarm buzzes. Thumb finds the snooze. And before my feet even hit the floor, my chest was tight with a list of things I hadn't finished. Deadlines blurred into each other. Coffee went cold on the counter. I'd catch myself staring at my phone like it held the answer, and all it did was make the fog thicker. So, I tried something almost embarrassingly small. I picked one real task, one that actually mattered, and told myself I'd give it 15 uninterrupted minutes, right after the first breath and before the scroll, before the emails could start chewing at me. I set a timer, sat down at the kitchen table, and braced for nothing to happen. Halfway through, I wanted to quit. My inner voice lined up a list of reasons why it wouldn't stick. But something shifted. As the minutes ticked, my shoulders loosened. My breathing slowed. I managed a single honest paragraph. Not brilliant, not finished, just done. That tiny, contained success felt bigger than it should. It wasn't about finishing the whole project. It was about proving to myself, in 15 quiet minutes, that I could still start and follow through. The fog didn't vanish, but a strip of light cut through it. For the first time that week, I felt capable again, not fixed, but steadier. And that small change rerouted the whole day. So, what's the habit? It's deceptively simple. When you wake up, before the world even has a chance to reach you, choose one meaningful task and give it 15 focused minutes. No phone, no multitasking, no chasing notifications or reacting to other people's urgency. Just you, your breath, and one clear intention. You don't need to finish the whole project. You just need to finish that moment of effort. Because that tiny completion, it hits different in the morning. It tells your brain, I move first. I choose the tone of my day. I'm capable. And that feeling, that quiet done, that win you earn before the world wakes up, it rewires your confidence. It sets a higher standard for yourself. It shifts you from surviving the day to actually leading it. 15 minutes, one task, real focus. Start small, finish something, and watch your day. And your self-belief. Rise with it. Why does this work? Because finishing one thing first thing gives your brain a real, concrete win. Not an abstract intention, but an actual little finish line. That tiny victory releases a hit of reward, that quick lift of relief and pride you feel when you cross something off, and that lift fuels momentum. Think of it like warming up an engine. 15 focused minutes gets the pistons moving, the systems humming, and suddenly everything else runs smoother. More than mechanics, it's emotional. Completing a small task calms the noise in your head. You'll notice your shoulders drop, your breath slow, and a stubborn little voice that says, "I can't," soften into, "I did." That shift changes how you approach the next thing. Decisions feel easier, focus comes quicker, and procrastination loses its grip because the day no longer starts with defeat. Practically, it also reduces friction. When you give yourself one undisturbed block, you sidestep the endless micro decisions that drain willpower. 15 minutes is short enough to commit to, long enough to produce something real, and perfectly timed to rewrite the tone of your morning. Start with that small win, and movement will breed more movement. Your confidence compounds, and your day follows. Here's the rule in one line. Choose one thing that truly matters. Set it up the night before, and then guard 15 minutes in the morning to finish it. That's the whole system. The night before preparation is your promise to yourself. It removes hesitation. In the morning, you don't wake up searching for direction. You wake up already pointed toward purpose. No scrolling for motivation, no debating, no reacting to the world's noise, just stepping into a decision you already made. And that 15-minute focus window, that's your personal sacred space. You protect it like it's oxygen. No notifications, no multitasking, no, "I'll start after coffee." You start first. You finish first. Even if the task is small, it's still complete. And completion is fuel. Simple beats complicated. Action beats intention. One thing, prepared ahead, protected in the morning. Do that consistently, and you stop hoping your day goes right. You make it go right. Step 1, choose the one thing. Ask yourself, if I could finish only one thing today, what would actually move me forward? Choose something meaningful, not tiny busy work. Step 2, prepare the night before. Put the item you need where you'll find it. Write the one thing on a sticky note and set your alarm 15 minutes earlier. Making the start easy is half the battle. Step 3, protect the 15 minutes. Start with a breath, set a timer, and commit to no phone or inbox. Treat it like an appointment with yourself you cannot cancel. Examples: write 300 words. Plan your top 3 tasks. Do 15 minutes of focused exercise, or read one chapter and summarize it. The content doesn't matter as much as finishing it. A friend of mine started this with 15 minutes of writing. A month later, she'd finished a draft she'd been dreading. Small daily finishes compounded into a big result. You might say, "I don't have time." And honestly, that's fair. 15 minutes is not nothing. Life is full. Mornings can feel like a sprint before you even stand up. You've got responsibilities, people depending on you, and a brain that sometimes just wants quiet instead of pressure. But here's the truth we both know. Time isn't only about hours, it's about direction. And most of us already spend 15 minutes leaking energy without even realizing it. A few swipes on the phone, a scroll through news or messages we already know won't help us feel better. Those little moments don't just disappear, they add up, and they shape how the whole morning feels. So instead of guilt, think of this as a trade, a tiny trade. You reclaim 15 minutes from autopilot and convert it into forward motion, into clarity, into one solid step that says, I'm building something. I'm choosing my life, not drifting through it. 15 minutes isn't about time. It's about ownership. It's about momentum. It's about proving to yourself that progress doesn't require perfect conditions. Just a small slice of intention, protected and honored. And once you feel that shift, even once, you'll understand. You weren't too busy. You were just busy without direction. This gives it back to you. Another objection. I'm not a morning person. And that's completely valid. Not everyone wakes up buzzing with clarity and sunshine. Some of us open our eyes and the world feels like it's arriving too fast, too loud, too soon. So here's the truth. This isn't about 5 a.m. hero routines or forcing yourself into someone else's rhythm. You don't need to become a morning person to take control of your day. Do this in your first truly awake window, whenever your mind finally arrives, whenever your energy first touches the day. For some people that's dawn, for others it's lunch. Doesn't matter. The power isn't in the clock, it's in the sequence. You wake up, you breathe, and before the world pulls on you, you claim one focused win. The first moment you're conscious enough to choose something that builds you, not drains you. What counts is intention. What counts is ownership. What counts is saying, before I react to life, I take one step for myself. Because this practice isn't about mornings. It's about starting with purpose instead of scrambling with noise. Whenever your day begins, begin it on your terms. Now, I'm inviting you into something simple and powerful. A 7-day challenge. Not to impress anyone, not to chase perfection, just to prove to yourself what consistency feels like when it's small, intentional, and yours.
Day 1. Pick your one thing. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Do it, even if you feel clumsy, even if your brain argues, even if you only inch forward. The win is starting. Day 2. Show up again. Notice what shifts. The resistance feels a little softer. The first step a little less heavy. Day 3. Either stay with the same one thing or choose a new one, whatever matters most today. The goal isn't to chase novelty. The goal is to build the muscle of beginning. You're strengthening that part of you that moves, not waits. Day 4. Not a diary entry, just mine. What shifted today? Maybe you felt calmer. Maybe the task felt lighter. Maybe you only noticed that you didn't quit. And honestly, that's already growth. Day 5. Give yourself a tiny reward afterward. Not a massive celebration, just a signal to your brain. Effort earns something. A song you love. 2 minutes of sunlight on your face. Reinforce the identity you're building. Day 6. Try shaving the friction. Lay out your tools the night before. Make it easy to start, because success often comes down to removing tiny barriers, not pushing harder. Day 7. Look back, really look. Notice that you showed up when you didn't feel like it. Notice how starting now takes less force. Notice that confidence grows from repetition, not miracles. Then ask yourself one thing. What part of this do I want to keep? And celebrate, not the results, but the identity shift. You didn't wait for motivation. You created it. 7 days, 15 minutes a day. And now you know you're capable of being the person who chooses action, not avoidance. That's not a routine. That's a new story about who you are becoming. How will you measure success? Not with perfection, not with giant numbers or dramatic before and after photos. Just with honest, simple proof that you showed up. Count your completed days, that's commitment. Rate your energy each morning and evening on a 1 to 5 scale. That's awareness growing. Track one small outcome that matters to you. Words written, pages read, minutes moved, breaths taken with intention. Keep it light. Keep it doable. These tiny metrics aren't about performance. They're reminders. They say, I'm paying attention, I'm honoring my effort, I'm building consistency, not chasing miracles. Success here isn't measured in achievements, it's measured in alignment. In knowing you kept a promise to yourself, even when it would have been easier not to. Small numbers, big honesty. That's how growth becomes sustainable, and how identity shifts from trying to becoming. This works because momentum compounds. It starts tiny, just 15 minutes. It doesn't look dramatic from the outside. No cinematic transformation, no fireworks, but inside, something shifts. 15 minutes becomes a rhythm becomes a habit, and a habit becomes identity. You stop saying, I hope I follow through, and you start quietly knowing, I finish things. That becomes the voice that wakes up with you, the voice that meets challenges, the voice that anchors you when life gets chaotic. And when your identity changes, your decisions change. You don't stall as much, you hesitate less. You begin tasks instead of avoiding them. You carry the energy of motion, not pressure. It's not the 15 minutes that transforms you, it's what those minutes prove to you about you. They remind you that you can start, that you can stay with something, that you can close loops and build momentum instead of letting life pile up around you. When you show yourself you finish, you start approaching the whole day from power instead of doubt. That's how momentum becomes self-belief. Here's the quick heart of it. Choose to start on purpose, protect that small win, and let it change the tone of your day. Do this for a week and you'll feel the difference. Not because everything suddenly gets easier, but because you've become the person who begins. If you're trying it, drop your one thing below. I'll pin selected replies and we'll celebrate the wins together. Subscribe for daily prompts, join the challenge, and start tomorrow. See you on day 1.